We welcome you to WakeMed Soccer Park Field number 2. It is getting late in the night, and we are almost at the end of day 2 of this $1 million winner-take-all 7v7 soccer tournament. This is the final game of the men's group stage, and it pits the Mississauga Dolphins and the Abarrotera Hidalgo CF squad. This is a round 3 matchup in men's Group A. And not just in this group, but across the entire 48-team men's field, this is the final game of men's group play. So we have reached almost a watershed moment in this tournament as we get just about set to trim the initial field of 48 down to 32, the knockout round, which will start tomorrow. This is a 7-on-7 tournament with 2 20-minute halves. There are no offside or throw-ins. Every match ends in a goal. When we get to the end of the second half, no matter what the score is, we will turn off the game clock and set a target score. And whoever reaches that target score goal count will win the game. The target score is the equivalent of 1 goal greater than the leading team's goal count. We'll take a look at the lineups now for both sides in our final match of group play. First, for the Mississauga Dolphins, the keeper is Carlos Ceballos. Daniel Shamale and Saab Kular are the defensemen. Raheem Rose, Osman Hussein, and Darius Kerr Cooper are the midfielders. Jonas Jama is the forward. On the other side for Abarrotera Hidalgo CF, Hugo Murga is the keeper. Walter Iovi and Arturo Valle are the defenders. Jonathan Ponce, Emiliano Joregi, and Brandon Escoto are the midfielders. Edgar Gonzalez Diaz is the forward. Mississauga Dolphins are in the blue kits, and you're looking at Abarrotera Hidalgo in the by and large white uniforms with black numbers. Both of these teams are 0-2 to start group play, and you have to finish in the top 2 of your group to advance to the knockout round. That is not a realistic option for either of these teams right now. However, there are 32 teams selected for the knockout round from a field of 48, so you don't necessarily have to finish in the top 2 of your group to advance. There are 8 sort of nebulous wild card slots that are floating out there. So there is still very much something to play for both of these teams. However, not only does each team need to win this game, they need to win by a fairly sizable margin. Both of these teams with a -5 goal differential, and the threshold to get into the knockout round based on the current standings is a -1 goal differential. So whoever wins this game has to win by 4 goals in order to make it through to the knockout round tomorrow. 1 goal at a time. As this is Murga who plays it up to midfield. Abarrotera Hidalgo in its first TST. And looking for its first win of this tournament as that ball is blistered by Marlon Escoto, the midfielder. Rolling substitutions permitted in TST. You can substitute as often as you want and in as great of numbers as you want. Long pass across the pitch in the direction of Osman Hussein. Abarrotera Hidalgo working into the attacking end, and some back pressure applied by Jonas Jama of the Mississauga Dolphins. That's a foul. This is an Abarrotera Hidalgo team that started as a group of friends just playing for fun at a local venue in their hometown in Mexico. It eventually evolved into a team that started winning local championships across Central and South America. And as the group has gotten more professional, Hidalgo arguing for a handball there. The team's winnings have increased. Abarrotera Hidalgo does not get the call there either. And now they have entered into TST for the first time. players specifically representing Tehuacan, Mexico, city in the central part of the country, southeast of Mexico City. And for the Mississauga Dolphins, Mississauga is a suburb of Toronto, so the Dolphins representing the GTA, the Greater Toronto area. So we have some Canadian and Mexican representation here in this matchup. That shot by Brian Martinez wide. On the corner for Abarrotera Hidalgo. Abarrotera Hidalgo, by the way, is a grocery store in Tehuacan, Mexico. That's what Abarrotera translates to for all of the non-Spanish speakers in the audience. Literally means grocery store. That is a business that has become the sponsor and the namesake of this team. Foot race here involving Carlos Carrillo. Out of bounds, and the Dolphins have it. Not quite 4 minutes in. Both these teams out of Group A, and you can take a look at the 0-2 record and make some assumptions about the quality of these teams, but when you really dive in and take a look at the teams in that 4-team group, it has proven to be a really tough quartet. La Liga Foot 7 and La Bombonera, the other two teams in the group, both 2-0, both beating these two teams and occupying the two automatic qualifier spots in the group for the knockout round. Ball is rolled over to Jared Phillips, number 20 for the Dolphins. He's one of the team's captains. Just outside the box now, this is Raheem Rose. Blade to the top, and Saab make that Franz Mella is taken down. And all kinds of barrel rolling here. Foul eventually called. Possession to Abarrotera Hidalgo. Eric Ponce from right at midfield. Almost looks like another kickoff. Dolphins quickly swarm on the ball, take it away. On the cross, fine play made by the keeper, Murga. Dolphins still applying pressure in the attacking end, and with the left foot, it's cleared by Walter Iovi, who's one of the captains for Abarrotera, playing at 45 years young. Walter Iovi, number 10 in white. One of the oldest players in the tournament, and also one of the players with the most impressive resumes. Walter Iovi, a long-time player for the Ecuadorian national team. He has dual citizenship with Mexico. He played professionally in Mexican leagues for a long time and has since gotten hooked up with the folks at Abarrotera Hidalgo. Good footwork by Jose Valdez. But Mississauga still with possession. Mella from the touchline. Brought back out by Francisco Thomas. Ceballos in the direction of Mella. Off his head and into the box. Lee Masunda couldn't get a shot away. Now it comes to him, and the save made by Murga. Nearly a handball. Here's Iovi, who has played 121 games, 121 caps with Team Ecuador. Over to Ponce, he finds the middle. Taken right back by Mississauga. Thomas, high in the attacking end, shadowed and pushed and eventually fouled by Augustine Lagos. Mella plays it back. Sharply into the box in the direction of Sebastian Lopez, but he was tangled up. Played field wide. And now down into the corner, well out of reach for Charlie Carrillo. So both of these teams have run into two really good teams in their group here in the preliminary round. Perhaps a chance brewing here for Raheem Rose just outside of the goalie box. A chance for Mella and the save made by Murga. It was played to the top by Lopez. Dolphins possession. Darius Kerr-Cooper sends it up to midfield. Kular moves it along now. And back down to Rose. Rose slips through, a shot saved by Murga. The rebound just a little bit wide for Darius Kerr-Cooper, otherwise he might have had a chance. Mella still not done with this chance. Mella completely embraced by Ponce there, and Murga outside of the goalie box to play it. Gonzalez up the touchline, and he spins it in the direction of Zeballos. Take a look at that last save by Murga, who's been tested already in this first half, just about halfway through the opening half. Zeballos skies it downfield. Sent back to the middle by Oral Ponce. There are two Ponces on the roster for Abarrotera Hidalgo. Vianney Ruiz with it. Loses it in the middle, sent the other way. Kerr-Cooper fighting for possession. Lost a battle with the turf monster there, and it's a Abarrotera Hidalgo ball. Ruiz played back to Murga. All the way down to the Mississauga end, and now back at midfield for Jama. Raheem Rose played back to the D. Abarrotera, as we mentioned, in this group, the still reigning TBT champions, and certainly have shown no signs of a title defense letdown through group play. Handing both of these teams losses. Mississauga dropped a 4-2 decision to La Bombonera in its last game. Allowed a goal to La Bombonera just 19 seconds into the match, but ended up tying the game 2-2 late in the second half. La Bombonera ultimately scored a go-ahead goal in the 38th minute, and then scored again in target score time to win 4-2. But Mississauga played that game very close for about 35 minutes against the defending champions. And Abarrotera Hidalgo, in its first TST, had, you might say, the misfortune of playing La Bombonera in the first match period of TST 25. So they play in the final match overall of group play. They also played in the tournament opener at 8 in the morning yesterday. Shot just a little bit wide. Good chance there for Abarrotera. And not only do you open TST 25, but you have to do so against the defending champs. An unenviable draw for Abarrotera Hidalgo. They dropped that game by a 4-1 decision. Loose in the box. And Abner Raboyar trying to keep it alive. Jama plays it high in his attacking end, and Kerr Cooper comes up with it. A little bit of space for Mississauga, and that shot wide and into the stands from Raheem Rhodes. Up to midfield. Brian Martinez tries to lead Diego Zamello upfield into the box, but only Mississauga players there. Nearly cleaned up and a goal. Edgar Gonzalez on a broken play gets Abarrotera Hidalgo out to a 1-0 lead.
Goal scored by Abarrotera Hidalgo CN.
Murga plays it on a bounce. So that is a somewhat significant goal for Abarrotera Hidalgo. That's actually the first goal that Abarrotera has scored in regulation. They've scored in each of their first 2 games of TST, but it's, interestingly enough, been in target score time either time. A bid to tie here for Mississauga. A little bit of a give and go action. Valle starts the action for Abarrotera. Escoto. And Valle again. Jason Mina, number 3 on the field for Abarrotera Hidalgo right now, as Murga sends it nearly the length of the pitch. Mina's significant for Abarrotera, another player that does not have direct ties to Tehuacan, Mexico. He's also from Ecuador, like Captain Walter Iovi. Iovi at the end of his career, Mina at the beginning, just 23 years old, but a player with a lot of promise and a valuable addition to the Abarrotera Hidalgo roster. This is Escoto. A little bit of real estate here. He drops it off, gets it back. Quickly converged upon. Ponce. And back to Escoto. High in the box. And Abner Raboyar. Slow to get up. Jared Phillips with the ball in his hand right now for Mississauga after the foul. And the trainer out to take a look at Raboyar. One nothing, Abarrotera Hidalgo. They lead for the first time in a TST game. Goal scored by Edgar Gonzalez in the 14th minute. Pausing here for an injured player. This is a team that has grown, Abarrotera Hidalgo, on the local tournament street ball, if you will, scene in Mexico, and they have spread their reach throughout Central and South America and now into North America. Some good sportsmanship there by Franz Mella to help the injured player for Abarrotera, Abner Raboyar, off the pitch. You see it, he immediately grabs for his shoulder or collarbone after it accidentally got jammed. Free kick now for Abarrotera, looking to pad their lead here. A win alone not enough to advance to the knockout round. Got to win by 4. Heck of a save made there by Zeballos on a good set play drawn up on the free kick. And a handball called there on Mississauga. Looked like it came up on Lee Masunda. Looking for just the right spot on a fairly slick pitch. Rain throughout the day here in Cary, North Carolina. But in spite of the inclement weather, there was never any lightning. There was really only one game that was delayed in the evening. Iovi with a try and a save by Zeballos. So all things considered, just a testament to the grounds crew, the quality of this park, the TST tournament organizers and staff. Everything has really rolled along quite smoothly in spite of maybe a torrential downpour is too strong of wording, but it was raining heavily for multiple stretches throughout the day today, from morning to night. Well, the Dolphins have had some chances in the attacking end, but haven't been able to capitalize. Murga has been great in goal for Abarrotera. It's been safe to say a disappointing TST for the Mississauga Dolphins. This is their 3rd year entering the tournament. Interestingly enough, they have entered TST each year under a different name. In 2023, they have entered as SLCFC, and in the first soccer tournament, they went all the way to the championship game, came 1 win shy of the $1 million prize. On a give and go, chance in the box. Zeballos made the initial save, but it gets past him. Another goal for Abarrotera. It is 2-0 now. Again, kind of a broken play, as the ball just bounces in. And that goal comes virtually at the very end of the first half, a buzzer beater of sorts, as it gives Abarrotera not only a 2-0 lead at halftime, but a puncher's chance of getting to the knockout round. They have to win by at least 4 goals to get their goal differential into the knockout round threshold. They lead by 2 halfway through. We'll be back after this short timeout. You're watching TST. Well, some strong words in the Mississauga Dolphins huddle as they have fallen behind 2-0 through one half to Abarrotera Hidalgo. Abarrotera Hidalgo looking for its first win in its first TST. Both of these teams 0-2 going into the final game of group play. Both goals for Abarrotera Hidalgo have come courtesy of Edgar Gonzalez, number 20. And on the defensive end as well, keeper Hugo Eduardo Murga has come up with some big stops, especially early in the game. You could argue that Abarrotera had, or rather Mississauga had the momentum, the drive in the first minutes of the game, but Murga with some big stops helped swing the tide in his team's favor. Shots on goal, case in point, even at 3 apiece. Abarrotera Hidalgo with the edge in shots and a 2-0 lead. Keeping an eye on this game, not so much for the final score, but not so much for the result, but really for the final score. If Abarrotera Hidalgo can win this by 4 goals or more, they would backdoor their way into the round of 32. Top 2 teams in each group advance, and then there are 8 wild card spots available beyond that for third place teams. So this is a battle for third in Group A, and more importantly, a berth in the round of 32. It's Abarrotera Hidalgo, a team composed of largely players from Mexico, and the Mississauga Dolphins, a team composed largely of players from Canada. Dolphins, the only men's team in the field representing Canada. There is a women's team featuring largely Canadian players in the field on that side of things. Abarrotera Hidalgo in the white, Mississauga in the blue. Battle for the ball here involving Alexis Espinosa of Abarrotera to the opposite side of the box now. Abarrotera working from left to right toward this end of the field. Iovi plays it across, and now down to Oral Ponce, and he is in a little bit of discomfort right now. Gets to his feet after the contact from Raheem Rose. Dolphins trying to apply some pressure. Murga sends it up to midfield. Deflection eventually played by Daniel Chamelet. Out of bounds, Abarrotera Hidalgo, possession. Substitutions roll in on the fly. That's Jason Mina checking into the game. Mina back to Murga. Off the head of Chamelet and out of play into the VIP section. Jonas Jama played back toward the top of the box in the defensive end. Aerial play, and Mina swings it down into the attacking end for Abarrotera. Aggressive play by Zabayos to come out to play it. And now Raheem Rose with a lovely ball in the direction of Yasaka. And Tyler Yasaka puts it in for the Mississauga Dolphins. We got a game again. It's 2-1.
Mississauga Dolphins goal! Scored by
just a lot of open space for Yasaka to work with there. And he nutmegs Murga, who tried to make a play on it, but the defensive structure non-existent. Put a lot on Murga to try and make that stop there, and he's come up big many times tonight. Again, Abarrotera Hidalgo has the lead, but it's really about how much either team wins as far as their chances to advance to the knockout round are concerned. From the corner into the box, Mina got ahead on it. And now another transition look for Mississauga. It's played by Josh Garcia across, and that's off the post. Sebastian Lopez nearly tied this game. But the Dolphins have life here in the second half, still early. It was this close from a tie game. Jared Phillips, that is. And Saab Kular wheeling around. Dolphins hang on to possession. Anthony Armatario with it. Armatario in the middle. And down onto the wing, Isaiah Reed, taken away by Mina. And a pile there. Reed and Mina again battling for it in the Abarrotera end. And eventually it rolls out of play. I mentioned that the Mississauga Dolphins entered TST 2023 as SLC FC and went all the way to the championship game before falling to Newtown Pride. Last season, this group entered under a different name, Toronto Athletic FC. Still had a good run. They advanced out of group play, but lost in the round of 32 to a local team, the Raleigh Rebels. And things getting a little physical after the whistle here. Jared Phillips in a bit of a stare down with Brian Martinez, and there's another fallen player for Abarrotera. It's Marlon Escoto. So Martinez heads to the bench to cool down in more ways than one. There's the contact that started it. It was Martinez and Phillips who got tangled, and then in a separate play, Escoto went down, and then Martinez and Phillips continued the exchange of words. Martinez gets a push in on another Dolphin, and a red card actually went up there. So a red card presumably assigned to Brian Martinez, so he is done for the game, and then will also be done for the next game as well, even if Abarrotera Hidalgo is able to advance to the round of 32. On a positive note, it's good to see Escoto jogging off the field under his own power. So as things settle down here, Walter Iovi with a free kick. A lot on it, stopped by Phillips just outside of the goalie box. Raheem Rose plays it into no man's land. Iovi runs it down, and now there's an injured Dolphin on the field. Phillips with Yasaka up ahead. He plays it back to Zeballos. Rose loses it. Abarrotera centering pass, and it's mishandled by Espinosa. Ball stays in play, but Josh Garcia is tackled. Slide tackling is not permitted in TST matches. Things are getting pretty tense. Another yellow card goes up here. And there might not be a ton for either team to play for here. A slim chance at best for either of these teams to advance to the knockout round, but it certainly doesn't feel like that.
given to number 27 for the LSCF, Jose Miliano.
Jose Valdez picks up the yellow card.
To the goalie for Mississauga Dolphins.
And the goalie for Mississauga, Carlos Ceballos, picks up a yellow card as well. This is Mella down the sideline. Rose trying to save the possession for Mississauga. And it's caught by Murga just alongside the post. Not even halfway through half number 2, and we could have a minute or so of extra time tacked on at the end of the half here before target score time with some of the stoppages we've had. Rose stops and leaves the ball behind, taken away by Abarrotera. A 2-on-1. And the shot or the pass just misses wide from Edgar Gonzalez, number 20, who's got a brace already, working on a hat trick. Ball now jogged up the pitch by Chamelet, and he sends it along to Lopez. Kerr Cooper back to Lopez. Lopez, a shot redirected in, and it's Tyler Yasaka who's got another one. It's been that kind of game. Ricochets, broken plays, and 2 players have accounted for all 4 goals now. The redirection.
Dolphins goal scored.
So we're tied at 2.
Tyler Yasaka.
And for the purposes of goal differential, we're back to 0. At the risk of belaboring the point, in order for the winning team of this game to move on to the knockout round, they have to win by 4, minimum. Both teams with -5 goal differentials through 2 games coming in. Lopez plays it to the keeper at midfield, Ceballos. Lopez rainbows it across to Franz Mella. Uses his head to keep it in play for Yasaka. Mella and Yasaka win it back, but the ball eludes Isaiah Reed. And this is Abarrotera. A high drive as Gonzalez pulls the trigger, knocking on the door of a 3-goal night. Substitutions now for Abarrotera and Mississauga for that matter. Kerr Cooper with the play in towards the box. It doesn't get through. Keep an eye on number 20 for Abarrotera on hat trick watch. He's got it now. Gonzalez pulls it wide, and you can see more than just frustration over a missed goal. A little bit more to that. Chamelet, pass to Reed. And now down to Hussein. Chamelet in the middle. Pushed out wide to Kular. Into the box, open net. And Reed tried to make a sliding backdoor goal. Possession to Mississauga. They get a corner out of this. Kular, backdoor again, and too much mustard on the shot. Hussein had the latest look for the Dolphins, who are trying to rally from down 2 and score 3 unanswered. To midfield, and Kular taking a piggyback ride on Oral Ponce there, and eventually a foul is called. Abarrotera with the free kick here. Escoto, who was injured a moment ago, takes another spill. This time he's whistled for a foul. That was Reed, who was down momentarily for Mississauga. Ponce battling Kular for it. Chamelet plays it back to the keeper. So as results continue to come in, and remember, this is the final game of men's group play, period, not just for Group A, but the entire 48-team field. The goal differential magic number now has gone down to 3. So we're tied at 2. And if either Mississauga or Abarrotera Hidalgo win this game by 3 now, they'll have enough in the goal differential department to move on to the knockout round of 32 tomorrow. However, time is starting to become an issue here. Even though we'll advance to target score time at the end of regulation, if the score is tied at 2, you're only going to be able to win by 1. In which case, a 3-goal margin of victory would be impossible. Here's Reed down the sideline. Hussein, corner of the box. Back from Lopez. Hussein in the middle. Lopez with a chance. He scores. Sebastian Lopez gives the Mississauga Dolphins a 3-2 lead. And with about 5 minutes to go in the second half here, you know, ideally you're up, if you're Mississauga now, you're up by 2. Minimum, of course, going into target score time with a chance to win by 3. Here's a look at the last goal. Give Osman Hussein the assist. 2 goals for Tyler Yasaka, and now a goal for Mississauga's Sebastian Lopez. Lopez now has goals in all 3 games of this tournament for the Dolphins. Jared Phillips played ahead. Yasaka loses positioning to Iovi, and Murga boots it down the pitch. Past Phillips to Zeballos. Got to take some chances here if you're either team, but especially Mississauga with the lead. You got to win by 3 to advance to the knockout round. Mella into the box, and Murga makes the near scoop save. Good reminder looking at the score graphic as Mella blasts this one out of play and out of the venue, right over the Section 303 sign. That a red card was assigned to Abarrotera earlier in the half, and so they are playing a man down. Mina, and Yasaka is whistled for the foul. And with Abarrotera Hidalgo playing a man down, they have lifted the keeper Murga from the game, at least for now. They have a player wearing a yellow penny who is serving as the goalie, but a position player really to try and even out the number disparity. Up to Gonzalez, who has the 2 goals for Abarrotera. This is Ruiz taken away. Again, Mississauga with the lead, but they have to play like they're trailing. Yasaka down into the box, a goal! Another one for Lopez. And Mississauga leads 4-2. This is starting to become a reality here for Mississauga. If this score holds, the target score would be 5 after regulation ends. Lopez with his second goal of the game. And remember, the goal differential magic number is -2. So Mississauga needs to win by 3 to get their goal differential to -2. It's currently -5 going into this game. -3 now, factoring in the 2-goal lead tonight. Yasaka regains his footing against Iovi, the World Cup veteran for Team Ecuador. Now playing in TST at the age of 45. This has been a tale of two halves. Abarrotera Hidalgo, remember, led 2-0. They scored a goal right before the whistle sounded for halftime. And things got really chippy early in the second half, and you can say that both teams lost their composure, but in the case of Abarrotera Hidalgo, a player received a red card and forced Abarrotera to play a man down. And Mississauga has capitalized on that, scoring 4 goals in the second half. Raheem Rose scores! And the lead is 3 for Mississauga. That's the differential they need. Now can they keep it? Abarrotera Hidalgo looking a little dejected right now. The swing in this game, quite striking. Here is Chamelet. Gets it back from Lopez and now plays it down to Hussein. Mella has Reed. Back to Mella. Playing extra time here with some injuries and some extracurricular affairs in the second half, but now we hit the whistle to start target score time. Well, the Dolphins score 5 in the second half. And the target score is 6. We'll refresh you on the target score parameters when we return from WakeMed Soccer Park. In the final game of men's group play here at TST 2025, we set a target score of 6. The Mississauga Dolphins with 5 unanswered goals in this game, all in the second half after trailing 2-0 at the break. Now are 1 goal away from winning this game. And pending a correct goal differential, we'll get to that in a sec, qualifying for the round of 32. The target score is equivalent to the leading team score +1. It takes place or is set at the end of the second half. The first to that target score wins. The longer we play into target score time, specifically every 3 minutes, each player is required to remove a player from the field. So we'll start at 7-on-7. If we have played 3 minutes without the target score being reached, we'll go down to 6-on-6 and so on. We knew coming into this game that not only did either team have to win to have a chance to move on to the round of 32, they needed to win by a large enough margin, that margin being 3. We were talking about Abarrotera Hidalgo with a 2-0 lead at one point, putting themselves in position to advance to the round of 32, not Mississauga. Now the script has completely reversed in the matter of a half, and Mississauga has hit that magic number of a 3-goal margin of victory. If they hit the target score, of course, it will be secure. But remember, Abarrotera Hidalgo can still score, of course, in target score time. So the deal not done yet for Mississauga. They have to hit the target score without allowing a goal of their own to Abarrotera Hidalgo. So nothing like a little bit of drama to end the night and the group stage round of the men's bracket and end day 2 of a wild day of TST. Wild if for no other reason because of the weather that rolled through much of North Carolina today. Two goals for Tyler Yasaka of Mississauga, 2 goals for Sebastian Lopez, and a goal for Raheem Rose as well to round out the scoring for the Mississauga Dolphins. Mississauga Dolphins were originally a cricket team in Mississauga, a suburb of Toronto, that then expanded into football or soccer, like some prominent European clubs have done as well. AC Milan, Tottenham. Walter Iovi plays it in his own box, but taken right back just outside the 36 by Mississauga. Remember, Abarrotera Hidalgo playing a man down even into the target score period by way of a red card assessed in the second half. That, you'll really go back to that moment and circle it on your scorecard as a momentum change, to say the least, that really opened the door not only for Mississauga to take the lead, but to potentially make the field of 32. That's a high drive saved by Murga. Great play off the boot of Raheem Rose, and a foul against Mississauga. Now Abarrotera Hidalgo effectively eliminated. Even if they come back to win this game, they can only win by 1, with the target score being 6. But even if Abarrotera Hidalgo scores 2 goals and loses the game, they could still play spoiler and keep Mississauga out of the field of 32, the knockout round. Knocked out of bounds by Saab Kular of Mississauga. Edgar Gonzalez will play it back in. But first, a player exits for both teams. So we're down to 6-on-6, or really 6-on-5, because of the red card on Abarrotera Hidalgo. Murga winds up. Header by Yasaka. And Chamelet Back to Yasaka. Lopez, Chamelet. Lopez up top now with Chamelet. Back to the keeper. Mississauga working in substitutes. Lopez stays on the pitch. Just outside the box. Hussein, the man in the middle for Mississauga. Lopez with a fake. Back across midfield. Hussein gathers. Kerr Cooper. With their backs to the wall, Mississauga has somewhat improbably put themselves in position to advance to the knockout round despite an 0-2 start to group play. This is Kerr Cooper sent to Lopez. Having a man advantage, of course, playing a key role in this long shot comeback bid. That is on the doorstep of getting home. One goal to win it. Mississauga needs to win by at least 3. That's the margin they lead by now. We are just about to the end of another 3-minute segment in target score time, at which point both teams must subtract a player. Kerr Cooper plays it back to Daniel Chamelet. Lopez, top side again, and over to Mella. Hussein in the box. Kerr Cooper is backdoor as well. 2 down low for Mississauga. Mella back up top. Over to Lopez. A box formation defensively for Abarrotera Hidalgo. Mississauga trying to break it. Hussein. And Mississauga can really afford to be patient here. Already with a numbers advantage because of the red card. And that will continue to be the case as we work our way into target time territory and teams continue to lose players because of the 3-minute rule. Hussein off the pitch for Mississauga. And Raheem Rose checks in. Rose pushed to the flag. And with the ball out of bounds, we had long ago reached another 3-minute threshold. So both teams lose a player. And Abarrotera Hidalgo really up against it now. It's a 4-on-3. Murga as the goalie. in some ways is like a 4-on-2. You can add one to that count. It's really a 5-on-4. That's a foul called and a card assigned to Mississauga. Saab Kular given the yellow. Hold your horses here. Abarrotera Hidalgo still might have a say in the outcome of this game. Escoto dances with it. Phillips with an empty net. Abarrotera Hidalgo has essentially pulled its goalie. Eric Ponce wearing the yellow penny. Now a chance. What a stop made. Edgar Gonzalez not wearing the yellow penny, but essentially playing goalie to keep this game going. Now Yasaka for Phillips, and he mishits it. He boots it over the net. It wasn't close. Ponce to Gonzalez, but a quick whistle here. We will restart. A yellow card has been given to the Abarrotera Hidalgo bench. Not sure if they were getting too rowdy or if they improperly substituted. You can see the bench is coming together a little bit. Our thanks to Rob Kennedy for keeping the peace. Escoto deep in his own end. Ponce, Yasaka nearly won the ball. Just a strange game from start to near finish, and somehow it seems appropriate that we end men's group play with a quirky affair between Abarrotera Hidalgo and the Mississauga Dolphins. Here is Rose with Mississauga bringing new players onto the pitch. For that matter, Abarrotera does as well. Mella for Rose, sent back to Zeballos. Lopez. High and wide, Chamelet with it. Rose just at the top of the 36, number 5 in blue. Slid over to Mella. And Mella knocked down. That's a foul, and Jose Valdez given a yellow card. And now a red, so Valdez is done, and I mean, this should make it a formality at this point as Mella taunts Valdez on his way off the field. I think Valdez would have gotten a yellow card for the play on Mella, and then getting in the referee's face ultimately gets him tossed. Okay, and the reason being it was Valdez's second yellow card of the match, so he knew he was gone no matter what. 2 yellows equals a red. And now Abarrotera Hidalgo with just 3 players on its side, including the goalie, Murga. Mississauga only has 4 players on the field, and getting everything situated now, so it is a 4-on-2. We had hit another 3-minute mark. So the only non-goalie on the field for Abarrotera Hidalgo, Alexis Espinoza, feels like he's the last man standing. Lopez, Chamelet, and Mella in the attacking zone. Mississauga elects to keep a goalie on the pitch. I mean, you could just bring a 4th position player in and end this thing once and for all. Mella wins it. Mississauga knocks off Abarrotera 6-2. And the goal differential is enough to put the Mississauga Dolphins through to the round of 32. With their backs to the wall. A comeback that will be remembered in the annals of TST history. And for this Mississauga Dolphins program in its 3rd season in this tournament, albeit under a different name, this game will certainly be noteworthy in club history as well. The Golden Fleece, sponsored by Adidas, is placed around the neck of Franz Mella, who secures the game-winning goal and officially moves Mississauga through to the round of 32. This was a chippy game. This was an odd game. But Mississauga finds a way to get the job done, and they are through to the knockout round. They live to see another day here at TST. What a way to end the night. What a way to end group play on the men's side. We are officially down from 48 teams to 32 on the men's side. Group play continues tomorrow on the women's side. But we are down to single elimination now. 32 teams still with the $1 million dream alive. Visit TST7v7.com to take a look at the updated bracket and see the schedule for tomorrow's games. We'll be with you all the way to Championship Monday. Thank you for watching TST. Have a great night.